Masechus of Elazar, Daf Chafei Amud Aleph, speaks about how Bnei Yehuda were learning how warfare. Specifically, they learned how to use the bow and arrow. And it explains that Hashem left some of the Canaanim inside the land of Eretz Yisrael. So Bnei Yehuda, or at least in general, Bnei Yisrael should learn how to fight. They should remember how to fight and know how to fight. They shouldn't lose this ability to be able to wage warfare. Question is, what did the Yidden do before they entered? When they entered Eretz Yisrael, how did they know how to fight then? Specifically considering the fact that they came as slaves. Slaves weren't taught how to fight. In fact, slaves were discouraged from ever fighting. Slaves were, conditioned to be obedient and to blindly follow whatever nonsense is being crammed down their throat by good old daddy government. So, and institutions as well. So, how come Bnei Yisrael, as they entered Eretz Yisrael, they didn't need to know how to fight? So it answers that by the time, in the times when the Yidden left Mitzrayim, it actually says if they had enough emunah, they would not have needed to even lift up a sword. It said when Hashem told them go to Eretz Yisrael, Hashem didn't say go fight in Eretz Yisrael, didn't go kill it. Hashem told them go to Eretz Yisrael. Had all of Bnei Yisrael been like Nachshon ben Aminadav and just gone, walked, should the rest of every enemy of Bnei Yisrael drop dead, flee, whatever, Hashem would have fought every single war for them. Hashem would not have. They wouldn't even need weapons. They would have been able to just walk with emunah, walk with pure and sheer emunah, like the Baal Shem Tov. Just walk into Eretz Yisrael. Elamai, Bnei Yisrael sent spies and started to, started doing things naturally and got worried and got nervous. And again, their fear brought a lack of emunah. And this lack of emunah, Hashem said, okay, you want to play, Hashem said, I was going to fight the wars for you, but, if you guys want to take up arms and do things the natural way, gesund to hate. Baruch Hashem, we had all the wonderful wars recorded. But anyway, I digress. Even that generation, they understood that true victory comes from Hashem, which is why, up until, for as long as Yeshua was alive, and of course Moshe Rabbeinu, the Yidden never needed to learn how to fight. The Yidden went and fought. They picked the sword, they went and they attacked, and finished. That was it. Hashem fought the wars for them, essentially. Sure, they were swinging around their hands. It was all Koyach Hashem. It's always all Koyach Hashem. But they didn't need any military tactics. Now, once Yeshua passed away, then the Yidden came up to Hashem and asked Hashem, so who should fight the wars first? Who should go first into battle? Whereas apparently until then, Yeshua just picked up whoever he needed, wasn't... So, when they came to Hashem with this request, that's when Hashem said, oh, you guys want to know who goes first, who goes second, military tactics. So it showed that they were giving credence to this reality that we have to fight wars in a natural way. We have to use the natural method to fight wars. We need battle plans, and we need to learn how to fight like this and strategy like that. And Hashem says, no problem. I'm going to keep some Canaanim around so you can learn how to fight wars. But this was something which David lamented by Shaul HaMelech's eulogy, by his Hefsid. David HaMelech speaks about how sad it is that we're no longer considered the upright generation, which Sefer HaYashar, which in Machlokes is exactly what Sefer HaYashar is, the book of the upright. Some say Bereshis, because Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov were the upright. Some say Dvarim, because Dvarim speaks about how you go Lifnei Meshuras Hadin, which means it's actually very, very interesting. That's the question. We understand why Sefer Yashar, the book of the upright, might be considered Sefer Bereshis. We speak about Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Those, you can't get more upright than that. Then we could speak about. Then it says also it might be considered the book of Shoftim. It says Sefer Yashar might be Shoftim. Why? Because it says that they had no king, and the people all did what was right in their eyes, what was upright in their eyes. But it was actually praising that generation. They didn't need this authoritative figure of a king to tell them what's right and what's wrong. We had the Shoftim. The Shoftim were judges. Judges gave you psak din. People knew and understood how to do things on their own. They didn't need to be shipolach, led by some big, strong king to tell them how to live and what to do and how to live. They didn't need any of that. They had common sense, which nowadays isn't too common. The Rebbe actually makes this point. And I have it saved somewhere, but the Rebbe makes this point that nowadays we have a machla where we're turning to experts for everything, an expert for this, and an expert for that, and an expert for everything. And what do the experts say? What do the experts say? And the Rebbe said it's poisoning the entire world, following all these experts. We have to stop listening to experts and just apply our common sense. I digress. So that's Sefer Yashar Shoftim. But Dvarim is out of place. I mean, the proof which the Gemara brings about Dvarim being Sefer Yashar, it quotes a pasuk in Dvarim which says the word Yashar, like upright. But it's like, I mean, that's one little pasuk. Like that's like doesn't really shtim, doesn't really fit with the rest of the proofs. The Sefer Yashar should be Dvarim. So it actually answers that Sefer Yashar is called is Dvarim because why do we have Sefer Dvarim in the first place? What's Sefer Dvarim doing for us? So it explains that Sefer, meaning, so to reiterate the question, or to strengthen the question, Sefer Dvarim is called the Mishnah Torah. It's, the second Torah, additionally. Like everything that says in Dvarim was already said before, some psukim word for word. So it's like, why do we need Dvarim again? We just said all this. So as we don't, no word in the Torah is extra. Every single word is exact. So it explains the whole theme of Dvarim is Lifnei Mishuras Hadin. It's going above and beyond the letter of the law. And it says specifically in monetary matters, but in general, in Torah, overall. And that's what keeps us upright. When we live by the letter of the law, then you could be like these horrible, evil squatters. I don't know if you've seen, but throughout the country, in liberal cities, there are people which break into people's houses, or break-in is they walk into people's houses, they sit down in their house, and they say, now I lived here 30 days, now I own your house. And then people, homeowners, are getting arrested because people illegally trespass on their property. It's beyond, just absolutely beyond. We're mamish devolving. And where did this happen? Where did this come from? Because people lived, quote, by the letter of the law. What do you mean legally I have a right to be here? I'm 30 days sitting in your house, so now I own your house. What do you mean? Obviously that's what the law says. That's what the law says. Laws and laws and laws and laws and laws. When you live by the letter of the law, you're living a crooked, terrible life. And and then not only are the laws helpful, laws get manipulated into being evil and committing the worst atrocities in history have all been done in the name of the law. So that's why we have to live beyond the letter of the law. That's something which Hasidus always pushed for, But anyway, I digress. Dvarim is called the Book of the Upright because it's all about living Lifnei Mishuras Hadin. And when we stay, standing upright in that way, that actually protects the law, if anything, and protects the law from being manipulated and twisted into the wrong world, in the wrong way, so that you can be a terrible person. Al pi Allah. Anyway, so let's continue with the saga about David HaMelech and Bnei Yisrael. So when Bnei Yisrael came and asked who should fight first, so Hashem realized, but after Yeshua passed away, Hashem realized, Bnei Yisrael, their emunah is waning. They're looking to see who's the best army to go fight. So Hashem said, okay, look, again, just like what happened before. If you want to do things naturally, we'll do things naturally. But really, Hashem never wants to do things naturally with us. Hashem always wants to give us His supernatural. It's only our own fears and insecurities that coax us into believing that, if I do things this way and that way and the other way, if I go to this doctor or take this vaccine or other nonsense in life, I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be protected. But the truth of the matter is, Hashem always wants to deal with us on a level that's beyond teva. And when we live our lives, I think this is the crux of the issue. When we live our lives, Lifnei Mishuras Hadin, even though it stands to reason against nature, then Hashem treats us the same way. When we come with the emunah in Hashem, that's beyond all reason, then Hashem shows us miracles beyond all nature. And I think that's the point of it all. We have to remember that we shouldn't be worried, we shouldn't be nervous, we shouldn't let fear creep in, and we should absolutely, this is amazing. Rabbi Meir Kahana always would say that we're addicted to American dollars. The state of Israel is addicted to American money, and that we have to stop taking money from America. He says, Goyim say, Eila Varecha Ve'el Vasusim, Anachnu B'Shem Elokeinu. So he say, Eila Varecha Ve'el Vasusim, Anachnu. It's Howard H. Bush's money, because back then it was Howard H. Bush, father. So we're addicted to American money. We put our faith in American money, and that's again, the greatest avodah zarah of our time is money. The greatest avodah zarah of our time is money. And the more money they give you, the more control, the more the demands they have over you. This war in Gaza is lasting so much longer, specifically because we're addicted to American dollars. To me, not to get too political, but one of the greatest things a politician said in the current cycle, Vivek Ramaswamy, he said, I would actually have, when they asked him about the Gaza and Israel, fight, what side he's on, he says, I'm on nobody's side. Israel has to do what Israel has to do. We are mixing the heck out of it. They're leaving them alone. They're a sovereign nation. They can do whatever they want on their own. They have to do what they feel is best for Israel, and we have to do what we feel is best for America, and it's mamish hazoi. It's mamish how the world should be, to stop trying to help the whole world because we only make things worse. To learn to just help make our lives better, make those around us better. Anyway, hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day.